Imagine being a self-made millionaire, someone who has everything: money, power, and influence. Now picture someone offering you something priceless, a symbol of faith and hope, only for you to turn it down. This is exactly what happened when Elon Musk offered a Bible to a millionaire, and the response he received shocked everyone. But what followed in Musk's response wasn't just a lesson in humility. It became an inspiring moment for millions around the world. Elon Musk is no stranger to making headlines. Whether it's revolutionizing the electric vehicle industry with Tesla or pushing the limits of space exploration with SpaceX, Musk has consistently been at the forefront of groundbreaking innovations. He has earned a reputation for being a visionary, unafraid to go against the grain and challenge conventional norms. His bold approach to business and technology has made him one of the most influential figures in the world, and he continues to captivate millions with his daring ideas and unconventional strategies. But behind the larger-than-life persona and incredible achievements is a man who believes deeply in his vision for the future, a future where innovation, sustainability, and humanity's potential are at the center of everything. Musk's ambitions extend far beyond electric cars and space travel. They represent a desire to fundamentally change the way we live, work, and interact with the world around us. He's often discussed the importance of a sustainable future, one where humanity is no longer reliant on fossil fuels, where space exploration becomes commonplace, and where innovation drives progress for the betterment of society. Despite his groundbreaking contributions to technology and his outspoken views on the future, Musk's personal philosophy has often been met with skepticism and questions. As a man driven by logic, science, and reason, Musk has always placed a significant emphasis on scientific progress and technological advancement. His commitment to pushing the boundaries of what is possible has made him an iconic figure in the world of innovation, but it has also led to some wondering where faith and spirituality fit into his worldview. Musk's openness about his beliefs, or lack thereof, has often sparked debate. As a scientist and engineer, he tends to focus on data, facts, and rationality. He has made no secret of his views on religion, which are grounded in a more secular approach to understanding the world. Musk has spoken about how he doesn't necessarily subscribe to traditional religious beliefs, but also expressed his admiration for the way many people find meaning and purpose through their faith. He often emphasizes the importance of human values, ethics, and the desire to make the world a better place for future generations, but he has yet to fully address the role faith might play in his own life. However, this would all change after a chance encounter with a millionaire, an event that would shift the way people viewed Musk's relationship with faith and spirituality. It was at an industry event where Musk was engaging with a group of influential individuals, discussing his latest projects and visions for the future. As always, Musk was eloquent in his speech, sharing his thoughts on space exploration, the future of sustainable energy, and the potential of artificial intelligence. But the conversation took an unexpected turn when one millionaire, a man who had achieved incredible success in his own right, admitted to feeling empty despite having everything he could possibly want. This millionaire had it all: the wealth, the power, the luxury, but something was missing. Despite his impressive achievements and the extravagant lifestyle that came with his success, he felt a deep sense of emptiness. The realization had set in that material possessions and external accomplishments alone weren't enough to bring him the fulfillment he had hoped for. For a man who had everything, this internal void left him searching for something more meaningful in life, something that could provide the sense of purpose and connection that his wealth and success couldn't. Musk, who had always been someone to search for deeper meaning and purpose in life, saw an opportunity to offer something more than just the typical business advice. He wasn't simply there to talk about the next big venture or to discuss the future of technology. He recognized that this was a moment to address something far more profound. Musk could see that the millionaire's struggle wasn't one of financial hardship but of spiritual and emotional fulfillment. He realized that what the millionaire needed wasn't a new business idea or a better way to make money. It was something that could fill the void he felt deep inside. So, Musk reached into his bag and pulled out a Bible. He offered it to the millionaire as a gift, a simple yet profound gesture that represented something far greater than any material possession could. The Bible, as a symbol of faith, hope, and guidance, was something Musk believed could provide the millionaire with the answers he was seeking. It was a way to offer him more than just success. It was a way to offer him something that could help him find inner peace, meaning, and purpose. Musk's gesture was unexpected, especially coming from someone known for his focus on science and technology. But for Musk, this was a moment of compassion, a chance to provide the millionaire with something beyond the material world. The Bible represented a source of comfort, a means of finding guidance during difficult times, and a path to connecting with something larger than oneself. It was a gift that went beyond words. It was a gesture that carried with it the potential to change the millionaire's life. However, the response Musk received was not what he had anticipated. The millionaire, despite admitting his internal struggle and sense of emptiness, rejected the Bible. His refusal wasn't just a polite "no thank you." It was a firm rejection, one that seemed to signal a disconnect between the idea of faith and the millionaire's worldview. He didn't see the Bible as something that could help him. Instead, he viewed it as unnecessary, something that couldn't possibly fill the emptiness he was feeling. Musk was taken aback by the rejection, but he didn't let it discourage him. He didn't become angry or frustrated with the millionaire. Instead, he responded with a calm, measured response. He simply said, "I understand. But just know that no matter how much you have, it's the heart that gives you true purpose." Musk's words were filled with wisdom, a reminder that no amount of material wealth or external success could ever replace the deeper fulfillment that comes from personal growth, faith, and connection to something greater than oneself. This encounter stayed with Musk for a long time. He began to reflect on the millionaire's rejection and what it meant for people like him, people who were constantly chasing external success but finding themselves empty on the inside. Musk's offer of the Bible wasn't just a gesture of kindness. It was a realization that even the wealthiest people need something more to fill the void within them. The lesson Musk took from this experience was clear. No matter how much success or wealth one attains, true fulfillment comes from within, and it often requires looking beyond the material world to find meaning, purpose, and peace. For Musk, this encounter became a turning point, a reminder that, even in the world of billionaires and industry giants, everyone is searching for something deeper. It was a lesson in empathy, humility, and the power of faith. While Musk may not have been a traditional believer, his gesture showed that he understood the importance of faith and personal fulfillment in a way that resonated deeply with those who were willing to listen. To Musk's surprise, the millionaire declined the Bible. His refusal wasn't just a simple, "no thank you." It was a firm rejection, almost as though the very idea of faith or religion was beneath him. This moment stunned Musk, who, despite his often unconventional views on spirituality, has always respected the role that faith plays in people's lives. Musk, who has openly discussed his personal beliefs, has never shied away from engaging in conversations about the meaning of life and what drives individuals to succeed. However, in this situation, his gesture of offering a Bible, a simple but deeply symbolic gift, was turned down without hesitation. The billionaire's rejection wasn't merely about refusing a physical object. It felt like an outright dismissal of something that many people hold sacred. Musk, who had witnessed how faith helped countless people navigate their struggles, found this moment to be a profound disconnect. The rejection puzzled Musk deeply. It wasn't just that the millionaire had refused the Bible, but the way he had done so, without any consideration or appreciation for what it represented. Musk, as someone who understood the importance of personal growth, saw the gesture as an opportunity to offer something more meaningful than business advice or material success. But the millionaire, seemingly immune to the value of such spiritual guidance, turned it down without a second thought. This wasn't the first time Musk had encountered individuals dismissing faith or spiritual practices, but it was the first time he had witnessed someone so openly reject a gift that represented hope, healing, and guidance. For someone with such obvious struggles, despite all of his wealth and achievements, Musk thought that the millionaire might have at least considered the offer. After all, the man admitted that his success had not brought him fulfillment. He had everything money could buy but felt empty, disconnected from something greater. Yet, instead of accepting a gift that could perhaps offer him some sort of solace or meaning, the millionaire turned it away, almost as if it were irrelevant to his situation. This refusal shook Musk, making him question the very nature of success. How could someone who had everything still feel this profound emptiness inside? But, rather than reacting with anger or frustration, Musk's response was calm and composed. He didn't pass judgment or try to convince the millionaire of the importance of faith. Musk simply smiled, offered a soft nod, and said, "I understand. But just know that no matter how much you have, it's the heart that gives you true purpose." His words were filled with sincerity and wisdom, a reminder that material wealth, while undoubtedly powerful, can never replace the deeper fulfillment that comes from personal growth, love, and yes, faith. Musk's message was clear. No matter how much one accumulates in life, whether it be wealth, fame, or power, it is ultimately the internal peace, the sense of purpose, and the emotional connections that provide lasting fulfillment. Musk's words, though simple, carried an underlying truth that was far-reaching. They were a reminder that for all the incredible breakthroughs and technological advances Musk had made, they were not an end in themselves. While technology can change the world, it can't solve the fundamental human need for emotional connection and spiritual growth. Musk understood that better than anyone. He had worked tirelessly to bring about revolutionary changes to industries that were ripe for disruption, but he also knew that true success wasn't just about building things that would change the world. It was about finding the personal peace and purpose that made the journey worthwhile. In the silence that followed, Musk reflected on the millionaire's refusal and the questions it left in his mind. How could someone who seemingly had it all fail to find meaning in something so universally revered? The exchange had highlighted a deeper issue at the core of success, a struggle that many high achievers, especially in the world of billionaires and tech moguls, face: the difficulty in reconciling material wealth with spiritual or emotional fulfillment. Success in the material world was often considered the ultimate goal: money, status, fame. But Musk began to wonder whether that success actually brought happiness. Could wealth and status really provide the deep sense of fulfillment that people desperately seek? Or did the pursuit of these goals only deepen the emptiness inside? Musk began to reflect on his own journey and the lessons he had learned over the years. He had always been driven by a desire to do something meaningful, to make the world a better place through his innovations. But in the midst of that drive, he had also experienced the loneliness and isolation that comes with being at the top. The more success he achieved, the more he realized that technology alone couldn't solve all the world's problems. It couldn't heal a broken heart, or fill the void that often arises in people's lives when they are disconnected from something greater than themselves. Musk had spent much of his life focused on pushing the boundaries of what was possible in the world of science and technology. His ambition to colonize Mars and revolutionize the energy industry was driven by a desire to solve big problems, to make a lasting impact on humanity. But even with all of his success, he had also faced moments of doubt and vulnerability. There had been times when he questioned whether all his work, his sacrifices, and his relentless pursuit of progress had led him to true happiness. The more he worked to achieve monumental goals, the more he realized that perhaps there was something more, something that couldn't be quantified by numbers or rocket launches. Musk's encounter with the millionaire became a turning point in his own personal reflection. The billionaire's refusal of the Bible and the subsequent conversation left Musk with a profound understanding that there was a deeper level of fulfillment that couldn't be bought or engineered. While Musk didn't necessarily align himself with traditional religious beliefs, he understood the role that faith played in people's lives. It wasn't just about following a set of rules or beliefs. It was about finding something that gave life meaning and direction. For the millionaire, the Bible represented an opportunity to reconnect with something that might help him find that missing sense of purpose. But the rejection highlighted a bigger issue: the idea that people often overlook or dismiss spiritual guidance in their relentless pursuit of external success. Musk realized that, no matter how much progress he made in the world of technology and innovation, there would always be a part of humanity that couldn't be reached by technology alone. He had built companies that were changing the world, but he also began to see that the true changes people needed, those that would bring them peace, fulfillment, and purpose, came from within. The realization left him with a new perspective, one that didn't diminish his commitment to innovation, but added another layer to his understanding of success. As Musk continued his journey, the questions left by the millionaire's refusal stayed with him. In the end, he found that sometimes the most important things in life can't be given through technology or money. It's the heart, the spirit, and the relationships that ultimately bring meaning to the work we do and the lives we lead. As the conversation continued, Musk couldn't help but feel a growing sense of unease. The millionaire sitting across from him had everything that most people could ever dream of: luxurious cars, a sprawling mansion, private jets, and an endless array of material possessions that spoke to a life of unparalleled wealth and success. To the outside world, he seemed to have it all. Yet, despite all of his accomplishments and the glittering lifestyle he led, the man appeared to be searching for something elusive that none of his possessions seemed to provide. This realization left Musk with a feeling that was hard to shake. The millionaire's confession of feeling empty, despite his opulent lifestyle, made Musk question something deeper. Was this the case for many people, particularly those in the tech and business world? Were they so fixated on achieving external success, on building empires and accumulating wealth, that they had lost sight of the inner peace and purpose that faith might offer? The idea gnawed at Musk's mind, challenging his long-held beliefs and sparking a new layer of curiosity within him. Musk had always prided himself on his relentless pursuit of progress, both personally and professionally. His life had been a constant quest for achievement, from launching rockets into space to creating electric cars that challenged the very foundations of the automotive industry. Success, in his eyes, was not only about pushing the boundaries of technology, but about doing so with a vision that would ensure a sustainable future for humanity. But now, as he sat in front of the millionaire, listening to him speak of his profound emptiness, Musk found himself questioning what success truly meant. How could someone who had reached the pinnacle of financial success feel this way? And why was it that so many in the world of tech and business seemed to be running toward the same goal, only to find themselves feeling unfulfilled at the end of the journey? Despite Musk's usually unflappable demeanor, this encounter stirred something within him. It made him reflect on his own journey and the emptiness he sometimes felt, even amid his countless achievements. No amount of success, no matter how impressive or groundbreaking, seemed to fill the deeper void that this millionaire was describing. Musk began to realize that there might be something missing in his own life, something that went beyond the pursuit of innovation and technology. He had dedicated so much of his time and energy to advancing humanity's capabilities, to creating a better, more sustainable future. But what about his own personal sense of fulfillment? What was the point of all this progress if, at the end of the day, it didn't provide a deeper sense of purpose? This question hung in the air long after the conversation had ended. Musk couldn't shake the idea that perhaps he too was part of a larger trend, one in which people were so consumed by the pursuit of external success that they had neglected the inner peace and balance that faith could provide. His life had always been driven by the desire to innovate and improve the world, but in doing so, he had sometimes lost sight of the importance of finding balance within himself. Could it be that the same drive for success that had propelled him forward had also prevented him from considering the deeper, more spiritual side of life? Was the obsession with progress, with achieving more and more, distracting him from the things that could truly provide lasting fulfillment? As the days went by, this question lingered in Musk's mind, growing more persistent. He couldn't help but wonder whether the culture of Silicon Valley, with its relentless pace and focus on the next big thing, was in part responsible for this disconnection from spiritual balance. The tech world was often obsessed with progress, always pushing to the next frontier, always searching for the next breakthrough. But was there room in this culture for introspection, for personal growth, for considering the role that faith might play in achieving true happiness and fulfillment? Musk had often seen faith as something abstract, something that didn't have much place in the world of technology and innovation. His focus had always been on science and rationality, on tangible progress that could be measured and achieved through data, engineering, and human ingenuity. Religion and spirituality were often seen as separate from the work he was doing, reserved for those seeking comfort or solace in times of hardship. But this encounter with the millionaire had opened his eyes to a new possibility, that perhaps the pursuit of progress and the pursuit of inner peace were not mutually exclusive. In fact, they might even be intertwined. The more Musk thought about it, the more he realized that this conversation had challenged him in ways he hadn't anticipated. He had spent so much of his life focusing on the external, on changing the world, on pushing the boundaries of what was possible. But what if the key to true fulfillment lay not in what he could accomplish externally, but in the peace and balance he could cultivate within himself? What if the technology and innovation he was so passionate about were just one part of the equation, and the other part, faith, spirituality, and emotional well-being, was just as important? Musk's realization led him to a new sense of curiosity about the role that faith might play in his life. It wasn't that he was suddenly converted to a particular belief system. Rather, he was beginning to understand the deeper purpose that faith could provide. It was a way of finding meaning beyond the material world, of connecting to something larger than oneself, of gaining a sense of peace and fulfillment that wasn't dependent on external achievements or success. For the first time, Musk began to appreciate the value of finding balance between his ambitious, futuristic goals and the inner peace that faith could provide. This new perspective didn't mean that Musk was abandoning his vision for the future of technology, or stepping away from his work in space exploration or electric vehicles. Instead, it meant that he was starting to understand the importance of grounding himself, of finding purpose and fulfillment, not just in his career, but in his personal life as well. He began to see the importance of nurturing his emotional and spiritual well-being, of taking time to reflect and grow beyond the technological frontiers he was constantly striving to conquer. As Musk continued his work, he began to incorporate this new sense of balance into his daily life. He didn't talk about it much, but internally, he knew that his pursuit of innovation and progress needed to be accompanied by a sense of inner peace and purpose. He became more mindful of the impact his work had on his personal life and relationships, understanding that without emotional fulfillment, no amount of success could truly bring lasting happiness. And, in many ways, this shift in perspective not only made him a more grounded and fulfilled individual, but also a more effective leader. He began to approach his work with a greater sense of clarity, knowing that his true success would come from the balance he found between pushing the boundaries of technology and nurturing his own inner growth. As Musk continued to push humanity to new heights, he did so with an added sense of curiosity about the role that faith, inner peace, and personal fulfillment played in the grand scheme of progress. He began to realize that, in the end, it wasn't just about how much we could achieve externally, but about how we balanced our ambitions with our inner needs. And in doing so, Musk found a deeper sense of purpose, one that would guide him in the years to come as he continued to lead humanity into the future. The turning point came shortly after the event. Musk, who had spent most of his life immersed in the world of technology and innovation, began to reflect on the importance of finding balance in life. His achievements had been extraordinary. He had changed industries, built world-changing companies, and was actively pushing humanity to greater heights with projects like SpaceX and Tesla. Yet, as he thought more deeply about the conversation with the millionaire, Musk began to recognize that despite all his accomplishments, there was still something missing, something that couldn't be solved by launching a new rocket or introducing the latest Tesla model. Musk had always been driven by the pursuit of progress. He was constantly focused on the future, working relentlessly to solve some of humanity's biggest problems: climate change, sustainable energy, and space exploration. His mind was always looking for the next breakthrough, the next innovation that could change the world. But in his pursuit of these external successes, he began to realize that there was an internal space he had neglected for far too long. No matter how much he accomplished, it didn't fill the deeper, more personal void he was beginning to sense in his own life. It was in that moment of reflection that Musk understood the profound truth about the Bible he had offered to the millionaire. He had assumed that the gift was merely a physical object, a gesture of kindness. But now, he saw it as something far more significant. It wasn't just a book with pages and words. It was a symbol of something much greater, a connection to something beyond oneself, something that could offer meaning and purpose. Faith, Musk realized, could provide what external success could not: a grounding force, a source of guidance that transcended the material world. The millionaire's response opened Musk's eyes to an uncomfortable yet undeniable truth. Not everyone was ready to receive such gifts. Some people, no matter how successful or accomplished, are so entrenched in their own achievements and their own ideas of what success looks like that they fail to recognize the value of things that are simple yet profound. For the millionaire, the Bible wasn't something that spoke to him. It represented something that didn't fit into his worldview. In rejecting the Bible, he rejected the possibility that something as intangible as faith could offer the kind of fulfillment he was seeking. It was an eye-opening experience for Musk, who had always thought that the answers to life's deepest questions could be found in knowledge, progress, and reason. The rejection of something as simple as the Bible made him question whether, in his own relentless drive for external success, he had overlooked the importance of internal fulfillment. However, Musk didn't allow the rejection to discourage him. Instead of feeling frustrated or defeated, he used the experience to fuel a new perspective on his own life. Rather than allowing the incident to become a source of negativity, Musk saw it as an opportunity to turn something seemingly negative into a positive force for change. He realized that, like the millionaire, many people in the world were struggling with the emptiness that came from chasing external success without considering what truly mattered in life. In that moment, Musk made a decision. He would not let this experience remain isolated or personal. He would use it to inspire others, to share his own journey of finding balance, and to show others that success, while important, could never replace the deeper, more fulfilling connections that come from a sense of purpose and inner peace. Musk began to open up about his journey in a way he hadn't done before. In interviews, public talks, and even on social media, he began to speak more openly about the importance of finding balance in life, about the need to pursue both external success and internal fulfillment. He shared how, even as someone who had often questioned traditional beliefs, he had come to see the value in faith as a guiding principle for many people. This was a side of Musk that the public hadn't seen much of before. He had always been seen as a visionary entrepreneur, a man of science and technology, but now he was revealing a more personal, reflective side. Musk spoke about how he had come to realize that no matter how much he accomplished, the pursuit of progress without personal fulfillment left a hollow feeling that nothing external could fill. Musk's openness about his newfound perspective sparked a wider conversation about the intersection of ambition and inner peace. He began to challenge the prevailing mindset in many high-powered industries, where success was often measured by the amount of wealth or achievements one could accumulate. Musk's story of personal reflection resonated with many people who were also feeling the pressure of a fast-paced world that valued external success above all else. The idea that one could be highly successful and yet feel incomplete was not a new one, but it was often overlooked in a culture that idolized achievement. Musk's willingness to share his vulnerability with the public became a source of inspiration for many who had been silently struggling with similar feelings. Through his interviews and speeches, Musk encouraged people to find a balance between their professional aspirations and their personal well-being. He spoke of how important it was to prioritize one's mental and emotional health, to nurture relationships, and to take time to reflect on the deeper aspects of life. Musk stressed that success should not come at the cost of personal peace. In many ways, his message was a call to reframe what success meant in today's world. It wasn't just about amassing wealth or breaking records. It was about living a fulfilling life, one that incorporated not only professional triumphs but also personal growth, spiritual balance, and meaningful connections with others. Musk's reflections also brought him closer to understanding the broader implications of faith. While he didn't claim to have all the answers or fully align with any particular religious ideology, He recognized the importance of having something to guide you in difficult times, whether that guidance came from religion, spirituality, or simply a deep sense of personal purpose. It was clear to him that it played a vital role in living a fulfilling life. Musk also understood that faith wasn't just about belief in a higher power. It was about having a deeper connection to life itself, finding meaning in the journey, rather than just focusing on the destination. The more Musk shared his journey with the world, the more he realized that the message wasn't just for the millionaire or for those in positions of power. It was a message for everyone. Those at the top of the corporate ladder, those struggling to find their footing, and everyone in between. His openness helped spark a wider dialogue about what it truly means to succeed and how important it is to look beyond external accomplishments and focus on what truly brings fulfillment. The balance between ambition and inner peace became an important conversation in not just the tech world, but in society at large. As Musk continued to push humanity to new heights with his groundbreaking work in space and sustainable energy, his message of balance became a cornerstone of his philosophy. The lessons he had learned from his encounter with the millionaire stayed with him, guiding him as he moved forward in his personal and professional life. Musk had always been a visionary, but now he had a broader understanding of what true success meant. It wasn't just about achieving great things in the external world. It was about finding fulfillment from within and helping others do the same. Through his experience, Musk learned that the journey toward success and fulfillment was one that required both external achievement and internal peace, and he became an advocate for living a life that embraced both. In the end, Musk's response to the millionaire's rejection of the Bible became one of his most inspiring moments. Instead of reacting with anger or frustration, he chose to respond with empathy and wisdom, reminding us all that no matter how successful we become, true fulfillment comes from within. It was a moment that not only spoke to the millionaire but also resonated deeply with anyone who has ever questioned the meaning of success and happiness. Musk, a man often associated with rockets, cars, and grand technological visions, demonstrated that even in the most unexpected of circumstances, we can choose compassion and understanding over bitterness and judgment. It was a powerful reminder that while the world often defines success in terms of external achievements, true success is ultimately a journey of internal growth. Musk's ability to handle the situation with grace highlighted a side of him that many may not have expected. He didn't lash out at the millionaire for rejecting the Bible, nor did he try to force his perspective onto him. Instead, he understood that everyone is on their own personal journey, and that not everyone is ready to accept the gifts that life offers, whether they are physical, emotional, or spiritual. His calm response showed the world that success is not just about the accolades we collect or the status we achieve, but about how we handle moments of challenge, disappointment, and even rejection. It's about how we respond to others with understanding, patience, and kindness, especially when they may not share the same perspective or values. This encounter with the millionaire had a profound impact on Musk, and through his response, he was able to teach the world an important lesson. True success is not measured by wealth or fame, but by the peace and purpose we find in our hearts. For all the achievements Musk had racked up, building companies that were changing the world, accumulating wealth that few could dream of, he realized that none of those things could truly satisfy the deeper hunger for meaning and fulfillment that we all face. It was as if this encounter made Musk take a step back and recognize the importance of what lies beneath the surface. While his companies were changing the world, the question of how he could bring balance to his own life and, by extension, share that balance with others, became more pressing. Musk's story is one of constant innovation. His journey in the world of technology and space exploration is one of relentless forward momentum, breaking boundaries and challenging the status quo. But even as he continues to build the future, his encounter with the millionaire reminded him, and now all of us, that success is not only about what we build in the external world, it is equally about the peace we cultivate inside, the relationships we nurture, and the purpose we seek in every moment of our lives. The pursuit of success is often intertwined with the pursuit of meaning, and in Musk's case, this realization came at a time when he was at the peak of his career. For someone who had spent so much time building rockets, cars, and energy solutions, it became clear to him that the most important thing he could build was a life filled with balance, fulfillment, and connection. The lessons Musk learned from his conversation with the millionaire were profound. It wasn't just about the external world of technology and business. It was about the deeper journey that each person must take to find true meaning. For Musk, this meant taking a moment to pause, to reflect on what was truly important in life beyond the relentless pursuit of progress. The encounter with the millionaire led him to understand that even in the tech world, where many measure success by the wealth one accumulates or the revolutionary products one creates, there must also be a balance with inner peace and self-reflection. Faith, spirituality, or simply connecting with one's deeper self, however one defines it, was just as important as pushing the boundaries of innovation. Musk's approach to success has always been unique. He has never been the type to shy away from big ideas, to shy away from the impossible. He's built companies that have changed the world. His space company, SpaceX, has taken humanity closer to Mars, and Tesla has redefined the electric vehicle market. His vision has always been vast, beyond the limitations of conventional thinking. But his reaction to the Millionaire's rejection of the Bible proved that Musk, despite being a man of science and innovation, understood something more profound: the value of inner peace, humility, and understanding. What Musk learned through this experience was that true fulfillment doesn't come from having everything the world says you need to be happy. It doesn't come from owning mansions, cars, or private jets, nor does it come from achieving the highest levels of success. These external measures of success, while meaningful in their own right, are not the true sources of lasting happiness. True fulfillment comes from within, the ability to find peace, to nurture relationships, and to connect with something deeper than material wealth. It's about understanding that, as humans, we are all searching for something greater, something that gives our lives meaning. This realization, while not a new concept, was one that many people, particularly those at the top of their industries, often overlook in their pursuit of external success. Musk's story became a reminder to everyone, not just business leaders or tech moguls, that success is not merely about what you achieve in the world. It's about the impact you have on others and the peace you cultivate within yourself. Success isn't measured by how much you accumulate, but by how much you give, how much you share, and how much you learn about who you are and what you truly need. Musk, in his own unique way, became a beacon of inspiration for anyone who has ever questioned what it truly means to succeed. He showed that it's okay to look beyond the material, beyond technology and business, to seek something deeper, something more meaningful in life. If you found Elon Musk's story inspiring, don't forget to hit like on this video, subscribe to the channel for more thought-provoking stories, and make sure to hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. Keep seeking both outer success and inner fulfillment, and remember, true greatness is built from the inside out. Stay tuned for more inspiring content.